good, folkers? Snapzilla Gorilla, aka Snap Turtle, aka The Definition, coming at y'all with another video. I got about an hour, 16-minute drive ahead of me, and I decided this is a good time to come holler at y'all for a minute about something going on south of the border, into Mexico, of course. Last week, or a few days ago, there was some type of shootout in a small town of about, I think, 3,000 people in Mexico, not an hour from the border. Okay, what happened was, now this is how the media puts it. Okay, days after Trump talks about declaring cartels as terrorist groups, members of a cartel run up into a town and start shooting up the place, start shooting up a municipal building. Okay, now apparently 14 of those cartel members died, a few civilians, and some of the law enforcement or government officials or whatever, or government agents or officers, whatever, passed away or whatever the case may be. But you might think this is the norm for cartels, and yeah, they do run up into spots and just start indiscriminately killing people just to send a message to if the government decides to buck up or whatever the case may be. So what probably happened is some government officials were like, we're going to ride with Trump on this one. We're going to try to get rid of the cartels with this by declaring them as terrorists, whatever the case may be. And the cartels decided to retaliate. So now in Mexico, they don't give a hot shit about the government. Okay. As a matter of fact, they own most of the government. So any government official that goes against them are probably going to be a target of the cartels. That's just a fact. And I'm going to talk about why this is very relevant to us here in the United States. This happened in Mexico. And I want you to keep in mind one thing. In Mexico, they have very strict gun laws for civilians. Very strict. Way stricter than us, even in California. Okay? It takes a lot to even own a handgun and keep it in the house. So you can imagine if you have groups like these cartels in your country and you're not able to keep and bear arms. This is the type of shit that can happen. They can run up in your town, start shooting up shit. Now, this time they just so happen to decide to shoot up government buildings. So they say. So now keep in mind, this is all coming from mainstream media, this news and all that. So grain of salt with this stuff. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, and not all false flags don't leave victims, right? See, a false flag is not the same thing as a hoax. A false flag means that it's something that was done, right? Some tragedy that occurred that the mainstream media or government officials say happened for whatever reason, and then there was a whole different agenda and reasoning behind it, a whole different group of characters, a whole different group of conspirators. So that's what a false flag is. All a false flag is that they're lying to you. They're making up a false narrative behind the event. Okay, I don't know if the media is coloring the coverage of this shit that happened in Mexico. 22 people dead, right? That don't mean those 22 people may very well be dead, but it might not be for the reason that you think. Okay, but it might be for the reasons that you think. It might actually be because the cartels are saying, nah, y'all don't run shit down here, and I'm gonna show you that. And then they ran up into a town and started shooting up a municipal building. That's what they did. And now the question is, what you gonna do about it, Trump? What you gonna do about that? But I'm gonna point out something very important. Like I said a few minutes ago, is these people in Mexico, they do not have the right to keep and bear arms. They don't have a Second Amendment like we do. So this is what you deal with. The cartels run shit down there. They're the boogeymen. Everybody's afraid of the cartels down there. No one stands up to them except for smaller groups. Now, I talked about this group before, about this village in Mexico, like way in the south of Mexico, that have decided that they couldn't rely on the government anymore, and they took up arms to fight off cartel members, to arrest cartel members, to kill them, for terrorizing their village. They did that. without government sanction, without government permission, without government coddling, without the government saying, "Oh, go ahead and defend yourself." Nah, they decided that they were going to take up arms and handle their shit. And we're talking about farmers. We're talking about farmers and hunters. We're talking about those type of people. We're talking about people that they don't have AK-47s or AR-15s. They're protecting their village with hunting rifles and shit like that. But they still do it. They still able to do it. Imagine if they did have AR-15s. Imagine if they did have AK-47s. Imagine if they did have something a little bit more hefty. Imagine if they did have 30 to 100 round magazines or a 100 round drum. Imagine if they had close to anything that the cartels had at their disposal. What they got? The cartel members, they got access to grenades, they have access to rocket launchers, they have access to fully automatic weapons, they have access to whole police departments, they have access to whole military platoons. But what the people of Mexico got? Faith in their government, right? The government that's paid and bought and paid for by the cartels. This is a good lesson for us up here in the United States. Because don't think that we don't have cartel members right here in the U.S. ready and willing for gun control to ramp up. That's what they want. That's what these criminals want. That's what these criminal empires want. They want to be able to ride roughshod over us. They want to be able to have us in fear and to do whatever they want with us. Like they do in Mexico. Imagine, you got these government officials, okay, we're going to ban this, we're going to ban that. You can't take a gun out of the house. Red flag law this. Tap sack that. Oh man, the criminals are going to have a field day. You feel me? Oh yeah, we're closing off the border. What the fuck? They ain't gonna stop shit. There's already hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people already in this country that are ready for some type of insurgency. You understand what I'm saying? Chinese, cartels, so-called terrorists from the Middle East. There's already those type of people here in this country. There are already cells ready to take action. If ever the day comes, we are made vulnerable by these arbitrary, retarded gun laws, or any law that restricts us from and prevents us from protecting ourselves by any means necessary. And then this is what we're dealing with. We're talking about an hour from the border. Why did they choose that town? You got to ask yourself that question. Why would they choose that town near the border? Is that a message to us? I know one thing's for sure. I don't want that to ever go down. I don't want bands of criminal syndicate members to run up into our neighborhoods and just start blasting away indiscriminately, even if it is a municipal building. Because you think these cartel members, you think they care about children walking down the street that could be in the crossfire? Do you think that they care about old women? Do you think they care about innocent people that have nothing to do with their beef being caught in the crossfire? No, they don't. They cut people's heads off. They killed entire families. These are not mafia members. These are not La Cosa Nostra, where if you want to hit somebody, you just hit that person and you don't touch their family. They don't have those type of rules. They don't have those type of morals. They don't have those type of. They don't have that type of code. You know, where you're sitting there with your family, right? And a mafia hitter comes and just shoots you and walks out and leaves your family there screaming. No, they'll kill your whole family. These cartels will kill your whole fucking family. They'll cut your heart out in front of a village and pull your heart out and stab it to your neck. I've seen it happen. I've seen it in the video. They don't play. These cartel members, they don't give a hot shit. They'll cut your head off. They'll torture you. They'll kill your family. They'll kill your dog. This is what we're dealing with here. We're not talking about motherfucking La Cosa Nostra. Oh, no. They don't. They care not. They care not. You feel me? They'll kill your family. They'll kill your children. They don't care how old your children are. Now, and on top of that, a lot of these cats are nasty. They'll rape your children. They'll rape your little daughters. They'll rape your sons. And what do we want to do? We want to give control to the government that's going to take away our rights to keep and bear arms, to take away our rights of free speech, take away our rights of privacy, to make us more vulnerable, to make us victims to people like this. I mean, we sitting up here, we're worried about some damn impeachment. No, we need to focus on what's really going on. You understand what I'm saying? Don't think. Listen, man. I'm going to tell you something. There's not much different between the cartel members, right? The drug cartel members in Mexico and the bank cartel members right here in the U.S. There's not much difference. The only difference is we still have our Second Amendment rights to a degree. We still have 400 million firearms in this country that don't just belong to the criminal cartels. That don't just belong to the banking cartels and the police officers and the military. No, 400 million guns, firearms amongst the civilians. Do you know why? Back in World War II, when they bombed Pearl Harbor, a Japanese general said they would not invade the United States because behind every blade of glass, behind every blade of grass is a man with a gun. That's what stops many of the invasions that could have occurred. Behind every blade of grass is a man with a firearm, and that is what you call prophylactics. That's what you call preventative measures. That's what you call defense strategy. And what we got? We got these people, oh, we don't need the weapons of war. What kind of weapon you need? If weapons of war exist, then every man and woman should have access to a weapon of war. Because at any point, you can be thrown into the middle of a war, civilian or not. Look at all these countries that have these wars going on. Everybody is a soldier at some point, right? Everybody has to pick up a gun. What do you think happened in Mogadishu? Black Hawk Down. Why do you think that the Somalis gave these Rangers such a hard time? Because everybody had to pick up a gun and be part of this war. Children, women. Because guess what? We up in their town, we up in their country, right? Trying to run shit, trying to do what we do. And they like, nah, fuck that. But of course, let's demonize the Somalis for defending their country. Yeah, they had some bad people running in Somalia, but the way that they went about it, come on. You're talking about a foreign force running up and through your country and your town of Mogadishu with guns, running around and strutting their shit like they own the place. I'm just saying, man. Yeah, they had, like I said, they had some bad actors. They had some bad actors that were really, they were really screwing the people over. They weren't passing out the aid. They were involved in all kind of drug smuggling and slavery and all kind of shit. But that's what they say. But why were they really there in Somalia? The point is this. When force meets equal force, it is a fair fight. What they want to do is they want us to meet force with the phone calls to the police. Oh, come help me. Somebody's breaking into my house. Oh, wait, they're already in my house. Oh, wait, they're pointing a gun at me. Blam! Wherein I could have oh, I'm gonna call the cops after I handle this cat. I ain't got time to pick up the phone. I'm gonna pick up my shit. I'm gonna reach to the nightstand. I'm gonna grab my heater, and I'm gonna handle the intruder that way. I ain't got time for that. I don't know what this dude got. I don't know what his intentions are. I don't know what he wants to do to me and my children. No. I'm going to handle that. And perhaps my wife can pick up the phone and say, hey, come pick up the body. You understand what I'm saying? That's the key here. You want to live to talk about how you defended your family. You don't want your whole family dead, do you? No, you want to be able to defend your whole family. You have no business creating a family and having a family if you're not willing to do what it takes to defend them. And doing what it takes to defend them is not calling the Poe. It's not. It's not. See, the police force is reactionary. They're cleanup. They're the cleanup crew. Then you send the detectives out. What happened? Oh, let me dust for prints and let's look at the blood splatter. Nah. You want them to look at the intruder's blood splatter after it's done. If you can't help it. Like I said, have your wife call. Have your child call. Train your children, train your family on what to do in the event somebody breaks into your house. You have a designated police caller, but you are the designated armed defender. You have no business picking up a cell phone to call the police if you're a man and you have a family to protect. No. You allow someone else, you allow your vulnerable child to have the phone and have them call. You get your family together. If you and your kids and your wife are in different rooms, you and your wife is in a different room from your family, and some shit go down, come up with a plan. Like let's say at your house, you have your bedroom here, right? And between you and your child's bedroom is the stairs, right? The staircase. What do? You got to go by the staircase to get to your family. And what can be on that staircase? The intruder. So what do you do at that point? Well, you're not going to call the police until you get to your kids. No, you're going to cover that stairwell as you exit your bedroom and go towards your kid's bedroom. You're going to come out. You're going to have your shit. You're going to clear the staircase. You're going to clear the hallway. If you see anybody that don't belong, as soon as you see them, do what you got to do. And then maybe your wife is calling the police on the phone as you're clearing the stairwell in the hallway. No, not you though. Not you. No, as the man, you pick up your shit. Whatever home defense item that you choose, whatever personal protective device you choose to use at the house in the event something like this happens, you take your shit. You go out low because they're going to expect you to come out high. 9 times out of 10, the common everyday criminal is not going to be up on tactics like that. They're not going to be up on that. You come out low and ready, because if they have something to meet you with, they're going to shoot high. So you want to come out low, right? With your shit out. And if you have to, your wife has something else. She has her own tool. You come out low first. You see the target. You see the invader. You take care of it. Then your wife comes out high. Boom. If you didn't take it out with the first shot, at least you have them distracted. You have them suppressed to a degree. Then your wife can come out high. Then she can throw down more fire down range, or down the stairwell, or in the hallway, whatever the case may be. And then you move like that. You move as a unit. Train your family. Put them up on game. Don't allow these crooked politicians to take away take away the only means you have to defend your own self, defend your castle, defend your family. If you don't want them cartel members to run up and through your shit, you best believe you need to be armed and ready. That's just an example of the type of people that can run up in your shit. As soon as they start taking our rights to keep and bear arms more and more, death by 1,000 cuts, or 1,000 cunts. Either way, it's not good for you. No. Don't roll with that. Take this as an example. Take what happened in Mexico as an example of what can happen if your town is unarmed and unwilling to meet force with force. 22 people dead. This is what you want. They run up in your village. They run up in your town, thinking they're going to blast some shit up. Nah. Y'all mob out together. Form your little militia group and take out that cartel group. Take out those cartel members that decided to run up in your shit and think they were just going to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. That's how you got to deal with it. Otherwise, you're going to be victim number 13, 18, 16, whatever victim number you're going to be. Waiting on the police to protect you, it ain't going to crack. It ain't going to happen. Like I said, thankfully, they just attacked the municipal buildings. They didn't attack people's homes, I don't think. But don't think that the civilians did get caught in the crossfire. If they decided to run through the neighborhood and just started shooting up residences, what could the people have done without the right to keep and bear arms? That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling for violence. I'm not calling to just attack people. I'm calling for the utmost ability to defend yourself. Do not give away your rights to keep and bear arms, to defend yourself against all many enemies, foreign and domestic. You always want to be ready for that. That's all I'm saying. That don't mean be a dick and just start waving your shit around and intimidate people. No. But if you want to have your shit out, concealed carry, open carry, there's some arguments for and against both. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. And people should not fear you walking down the street open carrying any weapon. As long as you don't have the demeanor that you're going to use it or randomly on somebody. But guess what? If everybody has the right to keep and bear arms inside, outside the house, open carry, concealed carry, if somebody decides they want to get the wild hair up their ass and just start being a dick, being a psychopath, guess what? Jimmy across the street, Tyrone across the street, Gloria Stefan across the street, Jose across the street, they got their shit too. Oh no, what's up? What's cracking? What you raising your weapon for? Mutually assured destruction. That's what it is. Okay. I'm a psychopath, but I know I really get. There's no gun-free zone anywhere. I can't just. There's no fish in a barrel situation that can crack here. I know that if I start killing people because I have this itch, this desire to take people's lives for no reason, I know that I can die just as quickly as I can kill someone else before I even get a shot off. That's what the right to keep and bear arms provides you. The ability to take out a threat that presents itself as a threat to others. Will people die? Will innocent people still die? Of course. But it'll be less likely, it'll be less occurring. It's not going to be easy just, somebody's raising their gun and pointing at somebody. You don't necessarily want to kill somebody before they actually pull the trigger. But do you want to wait until they pull the trigger? So that's going to be the decision you have to make. And I'm not going to pretend like, it's going to be so easy just to take the guy out before he pulls the trigger. No, he might have to pull the trigger first, and then you can take action. That's the decision you'll have to make. But at least it'll still minimize the number of deaths that could have occurred because you were there with your shit and you took him out before he can take out somebody else. a second person, a third person, whatever. That's something to think about, y'all. I know I went off on a tangent a little bit, but this is very important. We got again, like I said, we got the December 10 purge coming, and we'll see what happens. I got a lot. I got some shit I got to do. I got to get on my YouTube Studio app and declare all my shit not for kids, like I said before. So we'll see what's going on, man. We'll see what's going on. It's going to be an interesting day on December 11th. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Much love. Peace.